Government announces major steps to boost the economy through revitalizing public sector banks. The Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, announces amalgamation of 10 public sector banks into 4 big banks. Post-consolidation, there will be only 12 public sector banks. The loan recovery too has reached a record level. Out of 18 public sector banks, 14 remain in the profit-earning situation. Prime Minister Modi chairs a meeting of the Executive Committee to review achievements for commemoration of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi during the last 1 year. Various ministries plan numerous activities including disposal of plastic waste, awareness generation on and around next 2nd October. Prime Minister Modi addresses Malayala Manorama conclave 2019, says surnames do not matter in New India. What matters is the ability of the youth to make their own name. Stresses on the need for constant dialogue between individuals and organizations, irrespective of one's thought process. Also highlights language's power to unite India. Prime Minister Modi asserts that Ayush needs to be established as a global brand for preventive healthcare, gives away awards for outstanding contribution for promotion and development of yoga for the year 2019 in New Delhi. Releases commemorative postage stamps honoring eminent scholars, practitioners and great master healers of Ayush systems. No relief to P. Chidambaram. The court extends CBI custody of the senior Congress leader till Monday in the INEX media case. India and Pakistan hold technical meeting at the 0 point on the opening of the Kartarpur corridor. The meeting comprised a group of 15 officials from each side. The Kartarpur 0 point is the point at which the Indian side of the corridor and the Pakistani side of the corridor will be converging. And the 4th lunar-bound orbit maneuver for Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft performed successfully. The next lunar-bound orbit maneuver planned on 1st September this year. The spacecraft to make a soft landing on the moon's south pole on 7th September. Hello and welcome. You're watching Doordarshan News with me, Nancy Kohli. Top story, taking another big step towards achieving the target of $5 trillion economy. The government on Friday announced the merger of Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank with the Punjab National Bank. Also, Syndicate Bank will be merged with the Canara Bank, while the Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank will be merged with the Union Bank of India.
In a bid to give further fillip to the economy, Friday saw Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman briefing the media, flanked by top ministry officials once again. This time, the focus was on strengthening public sector banking in the country. Taking a big step on consolidation of public sector banks, the minister announced the merger of 10 public sector banks into 4 larger banks. Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank have been merged with Punjab National Bank. Syndicate Bank has been merged with Canara Bank. Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank have been merged with the Union Bank of India. And Allahabad Bank has been merged with Indian Bank. After these mergers, the total number of public sector banks shrinks from 27 till 2017 to 12 as of now. The Finance Minister said the intent behind these mergers is to create big next generation bank.
We had already talked about SBI amalgamated earlier, Bank of Baroda amalgamated earlier. So the consolidated PSBs for strong national presence and global reach. One of the objectives with which we went about this consolidation plan. So 82% of all PSB business will be with these banks. 56% of all commercial bank business will be with them.
The Finance Minister said the government made a series of big step measures last week and most have begun to be implemented by now. She said that liquidity support to NBFCs and housing finance companies has improved as the partial credit guarantee scheme has been executed. Infusion of 3,300 crore rupees has already been made and another 30,000 crore rupees is in the pipeline.
The support that we had promised, which includes housing finance companies, also the partial credit guarantee schemes have all been executed. So sanction has begun with 3,300 crore already given and about 30,000 crores are in the pipeline. So they're getting them, the liquidity is reaching them, they're settling matters through the NBFCs and in particular for the housing finance corporations.
The minister also listed several administrative reforms vis-a-vis public sector banks. She added that due to government's reforms in recent years, not only gross NPAs of public sector banks have come down, 18 of 14 public sector banks have turned around from making losses to profit.
The public sector bank and their drive, we are going through wide-ranging reforms. Financially stronger PSBs are the ones which we are aiming at. Remember, please recall that in the budget we had made a provision of 70,000 crores. Well-provisioned PSBs, 14 already in profit. We'd like all of them to do well. Then technology-driven banking is what is the emphasis on today. Scale and synergy will be acquired because of the consolidation that we've done today, and governance is also getting strengthened, professionalized, and independence given to them to function.
The government's intent related to public sector banks' consolidation is clear. It expects big banks with enhanced capacity to increase credit coupled with bigger risk appetite. They will have both national presence and global reach to maximize opportunities for making India a $5 trillion economy by 2024. With input from Arun Sharma in New Delhi, DD News.
Prime Minister Modi on Friday chaired a meeting of the Executive Committee to review various achievements for commemoration of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi during last 1 year. Some of the major achievements include the inauguration of the National Salt Satyagraha Memorial, inaugurated at Dandi in Navsari. The Gandhi-themed tableau of states and central government departments marked this year's Republic Day parade. The videos of Vaishnav Jan sung by famous singers at iconic places from 155 countries prepared and publicized. Besides that, an international sanitation convention was organized where 55 ministers from 70 countries gathered to learn from India's sanitation experience. And during this period, a large number of Padyatra, Cycle Yatra, youth exchange programs, plays by schools and college students, Nukkad Natak, seminars, workshops, Gandhi Katha and interfaith prayers were also organized. On the 2nd of October last year and 4th April this year, a total of 1,424 inmates were released under special remission. 120 iconic buildings were illuminated across the world on 2nd October last year. Besides that, 100 volumes of collected works of Mahatma Gandhi in English were digitized. Also, short film competition was also organized by the NFDC. Out of 994 entries, 10 top films were awarded. The archival programs on Mahatma Gandhi was telecast and broadcast on All India Radio and on Doordarshan on a regular basis. And besides that, various ministries of the government have also planned activities to be taken up on the 2nd of October this year. And some of those are awareness generation across 4,000 towns and 6 lakh villages and preparations for collection, disposal of plastic waste. Also on the 2nd of October this year, the nationwide Shram Daan to be organized for the plastic waste in all the Gram Panchayats, urban local bodies, schools, railways and highways. Moving on now, Prime Minister Modi addressed the Malayala Manorama Conclave 2019 via video conferencing. The Prime Minister described New India as an aspirational nation based on participative democracy and proactive citizens. He said that the essence of New India is people putting nation before self, national interest above selfish interest. The Prime Minister also highlighted the need to use language to unite and not divide. Prime Minister Modi called on the media to play the role of a bridge that brings people speaking different languages even closer. He also highlighted the constructive role being played by the media in making campaigns like Swachh Bharat and the Fit India mass movements.
It is believed that public figures prefer to be on forums whose thought process matches with the person's own worldview. Because there is a lot of comfort in being among such people. I believe there must be a constant and continuous dialogue between individuals and organizations, irrespective of one's thought process. We need not have to agree on everything, but there must be enough civility in public life for differing extreme to be able to hear each other's point of view. India is perhaps the only country in the world with so many languages. In a way, it is a force multiplier, but language also been exploited by selfish interests to create artificial walls in the country to divide. Can we not use the power of language to unite India? Can media play the role of a bridge and bring people speaking different languages closer? We can simply start with publishing one word daily in 10 or 12 different languages spoken across the country. India has the most diverse and growing media. At this point, may I also highlight the positive role played by the media in various movements, be it Swachh Bharat, eliminating single-use plastic, water conservation, Fit India, and more. They have made these movements their own. At the core of the New India spirit are individual aspirations, collective endeavors, and a spirit of ownership for national progress. New India is about participative democracy, a citizen-centric government, and proactive citizenry. New India is the era of responsive people and responsive government. Is the essence of New India is how the people of India have risen above self-interest. This is a manifestation of what was spoken a century ago by Gandhi ji in the form of the doctrine of trusteeship. Today, there is a sincere desire not only to be a spectator of India's transformation, but also to play their own part in it. They want to take India ahead. Youngsters from small towns and villages, they are converting that aspiration into excellence and making India proud. The economic culture of license Raj and permit Raj struck at the heart of individual ambitions. Thousands of talented youngsters are creating fantastic platforms, showcasing the spirit of enterprise. This is an India where the surnames of the youth do not matter.
Prime Minister Modi has said that the efforts are on to prepare Ayush as per the needs of the future. Addressing a function of the Ayush Ministry in New Delhi, Prime Minister Modi said that the government is working to create an Ayush grid which would be on the lines of one nation, one mobility and one nation, one tax. He's also called for greater focus on production of millet given the growing demand for the grains worldwide.
A day after launching the Fit India movement, Prime Minister Narendra Modi turned his attention to yoga and Ayush sector. Prime Minister Modi hailed India's rich Ayush heritage and said that this needs to be woven into the healthcare sector along with modern medicine and science.
वेदों में गंभीर बीमारियों से जुड़े इलाज की चर्चा है, लेकिन दुर्भाग्य से हम अपनी इस पुरातन रिसर्च को आधुनिकता से जोड़ने में इतने सफल नहीं हो पाए और इसी स्थिति को बीते 5 वर्षों में हमने लगातार बदलने का प्रयास किया है और इसी के तहत आयुष को भारत के हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम का अहम हिस्सा बनाने पर बल दिया जा रहा है.
Health and wellness centers across the country under Prime Minister Jan Aushadhi Yojana are catering to the poor. The Prime Minister said that besides achieving the target of 1.5 lakh such centers, 12,500 Ayush centers will be opened across the country over the next 3 years. Around 4,000 Ayush centers out of these are expected to be ready by the end of this year. PM Modi said that necessary steps are being taken to ensure that there is an increased number of good professionals in Ayush. He stressed on the need for an integrated national Ayush grid that brings all forms of ancient medicine as well as naturopathy and modern medicine under one umbrella to promote health and wellness.
जैसे वन नेशन वन टैक्स है, वन नेशन वन मोबिलिटी कार्ड है, उसी प्रकार से अब पूरे देश में आयुष ग्रिड करने का आइडिया ये भी बहुत प्रशंसनीय है। इससे आयुष से इस विषय के साथ जुड़े हुए अनेक जो साइलोस है, टुकड़ों में बिखरा हुआ जो माहौल है, इन सबको एक कर करके एक होमोजीनियस व्यवस्था इसको बनाने में बहुत बड़ी सफलता मिलेगी।
The Prime Minister said that the government is working at a fast pace on the health infrastructure front, besides prevention and affordability. Just 2 days ago, government gave its nod to open 75 new medical colleges across the country. PM Modi said that government is aiming to achieve the one district, one medical college target soon. Referring to India's ancient treasure of natural healthcare practices, the Prime Minister said that it wasn't just a way to cure, but also a way of life. Prime Minister appealed to stakeholders to put a greater focus on millet grains.
आज हम देखते हैं कि जिस भोजन को हमने छोड़ दिया, उसको दुनिया ने अपनाना शुरू कर दिया। जौ हो, ज्वार हो, रागी हो, अब हम देख रहे हैं इस पोषक आहार की पूरी दुनिया में डिमांड है। मिलेट रिवॉल्यूशन पर काम बढ़ाना होगा।
Hailing the Ayushman Bharat Yojana, the Prime Minister said that the scheme has benefited lakhs of poor across the country, which has helped them save a whopping 12,000 crore rupees. Sudhakar Das's report, DD News.
Prime Minister Modi presented the Yoga Awards to the winners of Prime Minister's Award for Outstanding Contribution for Promotion and Development of Yoga. These awards were announced during the International Day of Yoga this year at Ranchi. The awards had been institutionalized and announced during Second International Day of Yoga event in 2016. The winners have been selected under different categories out of 79 nominations for this year and 186 nominations last year. Here's a snapshot of the awardees.
वर्ष 2018 व्यक्तिगत श्रेणी में पुरस्कार ग्रहण करने के लिए हम डॉक्टर विश्वास वसंत मंडलिक जी को मंच पर आमंत्रित करते हैं।
केंद्र शासन भी योग के लिए बहुत सपोर्ट कर रहा है, तो योग के प्रचार के लिए भी इसका सपोर्ट हो सकता है। इसलिए हमें तो बहुत खुशी हो रही है और प्रधानमंत्री जी खुद आए थे, उन्होंने खुद उनके हाथों से दिया है, तो हमें ज्यादा खुशी हो रही है। अभी योग का प्रचार तो और ज्यादा करेंगे।
संस्थागत श्रेणी में पुरस्कार ग्रहण करने के लिए द योग इंस्टीट्यूट मुंबई की ओर से डॉक्टर हमसा जी योगेंद्र जी को हम मंच पर आमंत्रित करते हैं।
मैं बहुत ही खुश हूँ कि नरेंद्र मोदी जैसे लीडर आए हैं जो योग को, आयुर्वेद को, नेचुरोपैथी को ऊपर लाने में बहुत ही योगदान दे रहे हैं, तो बहुत ही अच्छा रहेगा अपने देश के लिए और पूरे विश्व के लिए।
वर्ष 2019 में व्यक्तिगत राष्ट्रीय श्रेणी में पुरस्कार ग्रहण करने के लिए स्वामी राजर्षि मुनि जी की ओर से डॉक्टर दिनेश अमीन जी को हम मंच पर आमंत्रित करते हैं।
ये योग शास्त्र का सबसे बड़ा, मैं कहता हूँ दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा सेविंग पर्पस है। कोई रोग भी नहीं होवे, प्रिवेंटिव ऐसा हो, कोई रोग भी नहीं होवे, इस तरह से वो काम होने वाला है।
For the individual institutional category goes to Antonietta Rossi from Italy.
I am honored to get a prime from the Prime Ministry, and it makes me feel more close to India, a country I love a lot, a culture that I love and spread in the West, especially yoga.
Institutional international category for the year 2019, it goes to Yog Niketan, Tokyo, Japan. And for the same, I invite Mr. Kazuo Kishin Kimura to please come on the stage and receive the award.
Receiving this proud the Prime Minister Modi's award
So we decide to keep going this promotion and developing this yoga tradition. So in the future.
सरस्वती जी को हम मंच पर आमंत्रित करते हैं.
Vijay Kumar Kuhar on the expiry of his 4-day CBI custody. P. Chidambaram has already undergone custodial interrogation for 8 days since he was arrested. Moving on now, India and Pakistan officials on Friday met at the Zero Point to discuss various technical aspects pertaining to Kartarpur corridor. The meeting at the Zero Point was attended by 15 officials from each side. Zero Point is the location where the Indian and the Pakistani side of the proposed corridor converge. The meeting lasted close to 2 hours. The proposed corridor will connect Darbar Sahib in Pakistan's Kartarpur with Dera Baba Nanak Shrine in Gurdaspur district and facilitate the visa-free movement of the Indian Sikh pilgrims. Moving on now, Rajiv Gauba took over as India's new cabinet secretary. He took the charge after the superannuation of Pradeep Kumar Sinha. Gauba, a 1982 batch officer belonging to Jharkhand cadre of the IAS, has held important assignments in the past. He has also represented India at the International Monetary Fund. Rajiv Gauba, an IAS officer of the 1982 Jharkhand batch, took over as India's cabinet secretary on Friday. Rajiv Gauba has held important assignments like the Union Home Secretary, the Secretary Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India, and the Chief Secretary Jharkhand. He has also represented India at the International Monetary Fund. Earlier during his stint in the Home Affairs Ministry as Additional Secretary, he prepared a multi-pronged action plan in 2015 to tackle the left-wing extremism and steered its implementation, which has resulted in significantly shrinking the spread of Maoist area of influence. Gauba brings to his new assignment rich and wide-ranging experience spanning security, governance and financial verticals in the central and state governments as also in international organizations. As the Chief Secretary of Jharkhand, he had introduced major governance and economic reforms, including lateral entry of professionals, restructuring, downsizing of ministries and labour reforms. Jharkhand leaped from the bottom of the table to third rank in the ease of doing business during his tenure. He has also served in the International Monetary Fund, representing the country for 4 years on the board of the IMF. Born in Punjab in 1958, Gauba had replaced Rajiv Maharishi as the Union Home Secretary. He was the Chief Secretary of Jharkhand for 15 months before joining the Urban Development Ministry on the 1st of April 2016. He has also served as the Collector and District Magistrate of Nalanda, Muzaffarpur and Gaya districts in the undivided state of Bihar. DD India. Prime Minister Modi's Principal Secretary Nripendra Mishra has expressed his intention to be relieved of his duties. Prime Minister Modi has asked him to continue for 2 weeks. As his Principal Secretary, Nripendra Mishra decided to step down, and Prime Minister Modi said the former bureaucrat taught him a lot when he was new in the national capital in 2014. The Prime Minister tweeted, I quote, Shri Nripendra Mishra is among the most outstanding officers who has a great grasp of public policy and administration. When I was new to Delhi in 2014, he taught me a lot and his guidance remains valuable. After serving the PMO assiduously and diligently for over 5 years and making an indelible contribution to India's growth trajectory, Shri Nripendra Mishra ji will be embarking on a new phase of his life. My best wishes to him for his future endeavours, unquote. And former Cabinet Secretary P.K. Sinha has been appointed as officer on special duty in the Prime Minister's office. Moving on now, India on Friday said it has raised with Pakistan the issue of a Sikh girl being abducted and forced to convert to Islam in that country and asked for immediate remedial action.
Atrocities against minorities continue unabated in Pakistan. A glaring example of the plight of minorities can be gauged from the latest episode in Pakistan's Punjab province. A Sikh woman, who is none other than daughter of a Granthi in a Gurudwara in Nankana Sahib, was abducted and forcibly converted to Islam and subsequently married off to a Muslim youth.
मेरी PM इमरान खान और चीफ जस्टिस से अपील है, गुजारिश है कि वो हमें इंसाफ करे, हमारे साथ इंसाफ करे, हमें तहफ़्फ़ुज़ में रखे, जो हमें धमकियाँ दी जा रही है, हमें आगे भी तहफ़्फ़ुज़ में रखा जाए.
The video of the entire episode has gone viral and is generating intense reactions in India.
माइनॉरिटीज में हैं, उनके साथ जुल्म ज़्यादती की इंतहा है. अगर पूरे दुनिया में सबसे ज़्यादा माइनॉरिटी और सुरक्षित है तो वो पाकिस्तान है। जिस तरह एक सिख लड़की के साथ अन्याय हुआ है, इमरान खान न्याय करके दिखाएं।
माइनॉरिटीज के ऊपर, जहां पहले हिंदू लड़कियों के ऊपर और अब सिखों के, अब एक गुरुद्वारा साहब से लड़की को आप उठा के जबरन उसको धर्म बदलने के लिए मजबूर करके उसका निकाह किया जाए, इससे और गिरी हुई हरकत क्या हो सकती है।
India has officially raised the matter with Pakistan. The Ministry of External Affairs has said that it has received a number of representations from various quarters of civil society in India, including Sikh religious bodies, at the reports of the incident of abduction and forced conversion of a minor Sikh girl in Pakistan. ME has said that it has shared these concerns with the government of Pakistan and asked for immediate remedial action. The Sikh community is also up in arms against the recent episode. Sikh women protested against the forced conversion in a demonstration in Jammu.
Minorities में जिस कंट्री में भी minorities में कोई भी religion होता है, उसकी तो fully protection होनी चाहिए। लेकिन पाकिस्तान ने जो ये आज यहाँ पर किया है, एक बच्ची के साथ, नाबालिग बच्ची के साथ जबरदस्ती धर्म परिवर्तन किया है, बहुत ही शर्म की बात है।
The family of the Sikh girl has now sought help from country's Prime Minister Imran Khan. The family of the girl has alleged that she was forcibly converted to Islam under the threat that her brothers and father would be shot dead. In Pakistan, many such incidents are regularly reported where Hindu, Sikh and Christian girls are forcibly converted to Islam and married to Muslim men. DD India.
11 days after Chandrayaan-2 was inserted into the lunar orbit, the fourth lunar-bound orbit maneuver for the spacecraft, which would make a soft landing on the moon's south pole on 7 September, was performed successfully on Friday. ISRO in its update said that the fourth lunar-bound orbit maneuver for the spacecraft was performed successfully, beginning at 6:18 as planned using the onboard propulsion system. The duration of the maneuver was 1,155 seconds. The orbit achieved its 124 kilometers by 164 kilometers. And all the spacecraft parameters are normal, the ISRO added. The next lunar-bound orbit maneuver is scheduled on 1st September between 1600 and 1700 hours. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. Thanks for being with us.
New species of legless amphibians in the northeastern jungles of India. Belonging to the family of caecilians, the new organism is named Cichlidae in Garo language. These organisms are found in damp land of northeastern India. Caecilians are closely related to another species of amphibians found in Africa, which shows that the species evolved much before Indian subcontinent separated from the African landmass. Researchers say that this organism faces danger from local population who kill it, often mistaking it for a venomous snake. Whereas Cichlidae is neither venomous nor does it pose any danger to humans. Dr. Biju has said in his research that northeastern India's forest life has a rich ecosystem, but it still requires more research.